end zone, it's like all eyes on Ertz. And then Aguilar had the other touchdown, right? And it was a 30-yard beautiful catch.
That was awesome.
That was such a cool run. And then he just put whoever the Panthers safety was on skates.
Yeah. I think it was Shaq Thompson, so I think it was the linebacker. But yeah, he just decked everyone out of their shoes. But I think at some point on this show, we need to develop a better system for fantasy football because it's too reliant on touchdowns. We need to find a way to bring Kendall down.
I agree.
Kendall
has stinking Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Who just scores every week, apparently.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz, who scores 2 touchdowns but only gets 2 catches. What the heck?
Okay, really quickly. Did you tell her what our man, Mark, said?
I wanted to play down Kareem Hunt, but I did. And Mark, of course, when he was on the show with us, said that Kareem Hunt, a star was born. He's going to be one of the better players in the NFL this year. So what are you referring to?
So when we went and saw his show, he was telling us how he drafted Kareem Hunt, and he was all excited. His 5th round, and now he's going to be the main guy. But the season hadn't started yet. So did you go back to Kendall and say...
No, I really didn't. She just kept picking whoever was number 1 on the list. Which I hate people who play fantasy football like that, but good for her. She's number 1 in our league right now. And I'm trying to be smart and pick all the sleepers and everything. Chris Hogan, which was a great pickup, if I may toot my own horn. Have him in all 3 leagues, love him. But now I wish I just would have gone back and just picked the number 1 projected player every time because it works.
I know. I'm not even in that league, and I'm just upset. I'm upset that this is going down.
I'm 3-2 in that league. She's 5-0. Or I think she's 4-1. I don't know.
He's going a perfect 16-0.
No, she did lose 1 game to the last place team, actually. And I'm playing her this week, and it's...
it's a situation where she's overlooked this week. She was looking forward, and, can't do that. It's a rookie mistake.
Yeah. I did have Cam, and despite the 3 picks, he still put up more than projected volume.
Yeah, 52%.
So we'll see. As long as Mr. Tyreek Hill and Mr. Travis Kelce have big games, I should be set.
Yeah.
Other person I wanted to talk about, Jordan Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Running back for the Bears, sharing time with Tariq Cohen. He's got the Ravens this week, and I think he's poised to go off.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have the Bears winning this game. The only time all year I have the Bears winning.
So I hate to think what that means for what you think of my Oakland Raiders, considering they just got destroyed by the Baltimore Ravens.
See,
do you think they're going to lose at home to the Bears?
The Raiders have
Derek Carr coming back. Oh my God, I'm so excited!
And also, we'll see if that can revive Amari Cooper, who's been just dismal this year.
And so I have 3 fantasy leagues, and one of the leagues I have Russell Wilson, and they have a bye week, and I don't have any other backup quarterbacks. I'm like, oh great, who am I going to get? I look at the waiver wire. Someone dropped Derek Carr
because he was
and he was questionable. I'm like, okay, well I'll try. 2 days later, he's playing. Oh yeah, that's what you call a solid move.
That was solid. Yeah, I was really nervous about Travis Kelce coming into this week because of his concussion he got in the second quarter last week. Mm-hmm. He did play for about 2 more minutes in that game, and then I guess at halftime he couldn't remember his own name.
Not good.
Not good at all. But he is playing this week, according to the latest reports. He practiced in full on Thursday and Friday, and he's now off the injury report for the Chiefs. He should be going. And guess who popped back up on the injury report for the Chiefs? Tyreek Hill.
Of course.
Should be fine. It was a minor hamstring issue. He practiced in full Thursday as well.
Peace.
Let's talk Dolphins-Falcons.
Let's do it.
Falcons, I believe, have been the most underachieving team in the entire NFL this year.
Oh, they've lost 1 game.
Yes, but they could have lost 3. They could have easily been 1-3 going into last week.
That's the true mark of a champion. Winning games, you just got to pull up by your bootstraps, Sonny.
Who's this voice?
I don't know, an old-time football coach.
You're already doing a great voice with your sick voice.
Thank you.
You don't need to add anything onto it.
But I'm a football coach from the 1960s. Good job, Sonnies.
Okay.
Keep doing it out there.
Anyways, Falcons should have an easy win this week against the Dolphins, who have just looked terrible.
Jay Cutler sucks. I mean, let's just stop beating around the bush. Jay Cutler should not be a starting quarterback.
I've seen so many NFL videos of Jay Cutler either just standing during a play when he's not the quarterback, when they go to their wildcat formation and he's supposed to be a distraction or a blocker, he literally stands there and does nothing 10 feet behind the line. Or when he's quarterbacking and he looks like he's going to take a shot down the field and you're like, oh my God, that guy's actually open. Throw it. He throws it, goes 50 yards out of bounds. I don't even know if he can throw 50 yards anymore, but that's how far out of bounds it goes. So I think the Falcons do win this game.
Yeah.
Will Julio Jones finally score a touchdown? Will he even play?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Putting it down right now.
I really hope he does. I have him on a fantasy team. I swooped him 9th somehow, and I thought it was the steal of the century.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's done nothing.
All the people in your league, they knew what was going on.
He has done nothing this year. And Julio, shouting you out, boy. Give me a touchdown.
Oh, now he's inspired.
Or
he's inspired
3.
to win. Yeah.
I have a feeling he actually is going to have a big game this week. And Matt Ryan has also looked underachieving. And without Shanahan in his ear, is he just struggling or what's going on?
I just think last year was an otherworldly year by Matt Ryan. He had a year that was really, I mean, he's had some, not MVP caliber, but top 5, top 6 quarterback in the league type years. But last year was kind of an anomaly. I think that's obviously going to be his career year. He's not going to repeat that. And obviously he's not so far. He's already 2 interceptions away from tying what he had last year when he had 38 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He has 5 touchdowns, 5 picks so far this year.
And 0 touchdowns to Julio Jones.
0 touchdowns to Julio
Probably
Jones.
the best athlete in the entire NFL.
Oh, yeah. This is, I mean, if you're looking at what this year for Matt Ryan most resembles his rookie year when he had a quarterback rating of 87.7 so far this year, 87.5. So I think wouldn't say he's on the downswing because he's only 32 for quarterbacks. That's kind of seems to be like their early prime if you look at Tom Brady and company. But he's not going to repeat what he did last year in any year in his career. I think he's still going to be, a top 10, top 15, top 12 quarterback in the league, but he is not going to be a guy who's going to be the MVP, bar none, like he was last year. And I think, I think this is kind of what Falcon fans can expect from Matty Ice from here on out.
I try to avoid this as much as possible, just reiterating what other talk show hosts do, but Colin Cowherd has a great take on Matt Ryan, and that is he takes away his best year, last year, obviously, takes away his worst year, his rookie year. Those other 8 seasons that he's played are all B average seasons for a quarterback, and it's yes, he's good, but he's above average.
No, that's what I was saying. Like
he hasn't been great ever, other than last year, and that was an anomaly.
Yeah, he was always an above average quarterback. But last year, yeah, exactly. It was an anomaly. It was his career year. Guys are they're wont to have a one career year, and not everyone can be Aaron Rodgers every year. There's only one guy who can do that, and that's Aaron Rodgers. So,
I wish I was Aaron Rodgers.
I wish, yeah.
Take 10 years off your life to be Aaron Rodgers. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be fun, but then I wouldn't have this cool ass voice. sorry for all the old folks at home, but I'm so excited about my voice. I just want to be sick all the time. And I couldn't be drinking Starbucks coffee right now. Shout out to Starbucks. No, that would be cool though. That would be starting quarterback. Although if I had to pick anyone to be
Russell Westbrook,
that would be pretty cool. I mean, can you imagine being able to jump that high? My God, that would be so awesome. I think
you would take Justin Bieber. Honestly, you'd be that guy.
Me and Biebs, yeah. Although Biebs is kind of going the Aaron Carter path.
Say what you will about the kid, heck of a voice. I heard he's working on a new album.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Not really. Me and Biebs, we haven't seen eye to eye over things. I mean, like, I don't want to get too far into like his whole life, but like what you did to Selena, not cool, bro. Not cool. You messed up Selena's life.
And that's our entertainment talk for the week.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Come back next
one
week.
other NFL game I really want to just briefly touch on.
Yeah.
Niners-Redskins should be a wash. The Redskins have looked really good. The Niners have looked like they're rebuilding.
Shanny's coming home.
Let's put some positivity on that. Yes, Shanny is coming home, and I am very curious to see if Shanahan and Cousins have a little FaceTime, have a little talk. Because right now the Niners are probably the number 1 suitor for Kirk Cousins next year if Washington doesn't franchise tag him again. Which they might do. Kirk Cousins is having probably the best year of his career.
Oh, for sure.
And looks awesome. It looks like he's playing with a viable playoff team right now.
Yeah.
Which the Niners can pick him up. I think that solves some of their issues. Obviously, they still have some huge defensive issues. But next year is an interesting year for Kirk Cousins.
Speaking of defensive issues, they just cut NaVorro Bowman.
I saw that last night.
So
it looked like they were trying to trade someone for him, and then they just dropped him.
Yeah,
so
I like how the NFL works. There's like, all right, we're going to try to trade him for 2 hours. Okay, cut him. It's like, okay, well, you won't like extend that one more week. Like, what's the big rush? Like,
especially with someone like NaVorro Bowman, who's done so much for that franchise. That year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he was key. Yeah. I don't think he actually played in the Super Bowl.
No,
he was hurt. But to get to that Super Bowl, that was all NaVorro Bowman.
Yeah, it's it's sad to think back on the NaVorro Bowman, Patrick Willis days.
They were
Alden
so
Smith.
good.
I mean, that quarterback. I guess 4 quarterback or 4. Could I say quarterback? Linebackers. My God. With those 3 guys and who's Aaron? Wasn't Aaron Lynch? I forget who the 3rd or the 4th linebacker in that squad was. But those 3 guys: NaVorro Bowman, Patrick Willis, and Alden Smith. That was my God, it was wrecking havoc.
Watching
with John
Alden Smith as a
Harbaugh.
rookie get like 6 sacks in 3 games
Yeah.
was one of the coolest things ever for a Niner fan. And then we have our karma because now what are we doing? We're
Nothing.
losing
again.
0-5, 0-6,
0-5. Gotta be 0-6. Yeah. No, in Washington, to me, and like I've stated before, I was not a huge Kirk Cousins fan, but he's proved to be a top quarterback. I mean, at least so far this year, he's been awesome. 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, quarterback rating over 107. So he's really been everything the Washington needs. And they're only 2-2, but those 2 losses are to the Eagles in Week 1 and in the Chiefs last week. So I mean, the 2 of the top teams in the NFL.
I would say the top 2 teams in the NFL
yeah,
right
could
now.
be. Is that a segue?
Segue.
To top 8.
Yeah, I won't.
All right. You didn't prepare a top 8.
Well, I mean, I have my top 8 in my head, but we can
All right.
go off of yours and see what I agree, disagree with.
Okay. Do you have the NFL or the ESPN.com?
No, but
pulled up?
you go ahead and start, and I'll bring it up.
Okay. My number 8 is a team that I may be lagging behind on because everyone's had them in their top 8 in the last, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. But I'm finally putting them there as the Green Bay Packers.
Dude, they've been in my top 8 since
I know.
the beginning of the season, before the season.
4-1, have wins against the Seahawks, Bengals, Bears, and Cowboys, and a loss to the Falcons. So, I mean, when you look at just that looks pretty impressive. They're so predicated on having Aaron Rodgers do well that any little hiccup with him, and they're just not a good team. Their defense is fine. Their running game, not really good. And Aaron Rodgers has to do so much for that team that it scares me putting them any higher than that. I mean, if they keep winning, obviously I'll keep moving them higher. But the Cowboys have not looked great. They beat the Bears, big whoop. They beat the Bengals by 3. The Bengals have not looked great. And the Seahawks, they were really struggling to start the season. And like you said, the Falcons kind of underachieving, lost to them by 11. So there's other teams that have propelled themselves above Green Bay, and one that you may be upset about. But I still have them at 8.
Okay, number 8 for ESPN, and their power rankings are the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks, who you just touched on, not touched down.
Yeah, they're my top half, but they're not top 8.
Okay, number 7.
Number 7, I have the team that I just talked about that just beat the Green Bay Packers. I have the Falcons.
Same.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're lurking. I think last year, I mean, they weren't anyone that was people were circling to win the Super Bowl or make the Super Bowl before their last 4-game stretch when they really took off. So I think they're kind of biding their time. I think,
but going into this year, people thought it was going to be a rematch.
No, for sure. And I think sometimes we overhype teams because of what they did last season, and I think it was not easy, but I think it was predictable to think that Matt Ryan was not going to have an MVP style season. And I don't think we talked about this before. Mohamed Sanu, I think he's a good receiver. I don't think he's the prototypical number 2 for a team. And Julio Jones is going to draw too much attention. And one thing that I think they need to continue to work on is the balance between Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. I think Tevin Coleman needs more touches. He's getting a lot of passes thrown his way, but he only has 29 carries through 4 games. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. And I think at this point, he's probably the better player than Devontae Freeman, and I think they both should be getting a fair share of time. But I think they need to tip a little bit more of the running back carries to Tevin Coleman. I think that would be good for them. So, number 7.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Number 6, ESPN had Carolina Panthers. I think that
was
will
number
change.
7 for ESPN?
Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Defense based solely on their defense.
Yeah.
Number 6, Carolina Panthers. That's what ESPN had. That's what I would have had coming into this week. I don't think it changes too much after their loss to the Eagles because the Eagles are a very top-tier team. And I think the Eagles probably right now second-best team in the NFL, at least the way these last few weeks have played out with their style of play, with their pace of play, with how much they stink and hog the ball.
Yep.
They're on the field for a long time. They tire out defense. No, we're talking too much about the Eagles. What do you think about the Panthers? Do you think they should be in that top 8 still after this week?
I don't have them in my top 8 beforehand. I would say they moved closer to that because they lost to a really good team by less than a touchdown. I would not put them in my top 8 after this week. I mean, obviously we have to see what happens to the teams in my top 8 the rest of the week to see how they move up for Tuesday's show. But I do think they are a good team. Obviously they've played some good opponents. They beat the Patriots. They barely lost to the Eagles. and they're 4-2, and they're 3-0 on the road. They beat the Bills, who've looked pretty decent.